It's another beautiful night here at Samba K's only 24-hour shopping channel. It's time for me to turn you onto a few of the inescapable deals here at the TAF. I'm Angela Debdownerson, your host for the next couple of hours. Now let's get started. Are you feeling hopeful? Still think everything's gonna work out? Just cause? Well, I have a product for you that might help get rid of some of that silly and frankly unhelpful hope. The state of the oceans. Look at that. Less than a century of using the oceans as our own personal toilet has transformed it into an ecological and climate time bomb. That's because the oceans have absorbed over 90% of the excess heat energy from human-emitted greenhouse gases since the 1970s. And without the oceans acting as a planet-sized heat sink, the Earth would have warmed over 30 degrees Celsius in the same time period instead of a measly old 1.2 degrees. And as the oceans heat up, storms get supercharged, sea levels rise, and dead zones expand. But wait, there's more. Did you know that the bottom of the marine food chain is in jeopardy? Phytoplankton are microscopic algae. Besides being the base of the aquatic food web, they also produce about half the oxygen in the atmosphere. When they die, most sink to the ocean floor, taking with them as much CO2 as all the terrestrial plants on Earth. But because the oceans are absorbing all that excess heat, the normal circulation of organic matter, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, which is critical for maintaining marine ecosystems, is breaking down, creating a cap of warming water at the surface and keeping nutrients phytoplankton need to become trapped in the lower, cooler layers, starving them of food. And without phytoplankton to generate oxygen, trap carbon, and provide sustenance to the entire marine food chain, well, we'll end up with a dead, empty world. But it gets worse. The oceans warm slowly from the top down, so even if greenhouse gases cease to be emitted, the oceans will continue to absorb heat for decades and possibly centuries until they finally reach equilibrium with the atmosphere, sealing our long-term future in an ever-warm and potentially inhospitable world. And you're probably asking yourself, how much for this hope-crushing reality?
Oi! You can't hide from me!
Angela, my dear, it doesn't come off.
Well, of course it doesn't, Boppity. How could it? I can't find her!
Angela, focus. You were getting ready to say how much the state of the oceans cost.
That's right. Well, okay. It's only the cost of our future. Shipping and handling, not included. Delilah?
Over here.
My goodness, Delilah. What's happening?
Oh, we're having a bit of an issue with this PTSD processor.
What sort of issue?
Well, it's nothing you need to worry about. Just a little maintenance, really.
Looks serious.
Nope. All good.
Is there anything I can do?
Well, no. Not quite yet.
Oh. Well, what happens if you can't get it fixed?
Then you'll be trapped reliving a particular memory over and over and over and over again. But I'm hopeful I can get this worked out. That's not good.
Speaking of being hopeful, friends, did you know that hope is gonna kill us all?
What?
I'm joking, Delilah. Actually, it's much worse than that.
Worse?
Sure! And to help me explain why, we'll need to get lost in the desert.
What's that?
Where?
Over there.
I think I see it. That's not the way, Delilah.
Why not?
The idea that we can pull out as much carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as we put in requires Hail Mary technologies that don't exist. Whether it's carbon capture, or planet-sized geoengineering schemes, or blocking sunlight with space bubbles, these illusions are bandied about by governments, the media, and fossil fuel companies to pretend like action's being taken as they go on with business as usual.
Look, do you see it?
Not that way either.
Really?
While renewables will definitely be a necessary component to our future energy needs, without aggressive political action, close cooperation among countries, and major lifestyle changes throughout the developed world, it will be impossible to power our current civilization solely on renewables without a push to end capitalism and begin an era of degrowth.
I think I see it, Adam.
If systemic change isn't on the table when it comes to battling the climate crisis, then you're simply hoping for a miracle.
Come on, Adam. We have to keep going.
Here's the situation. Nothing's being done. At least not on the scales necessary to prevent the worst case scenarios. Why? Because we're going to pour as much carbon into the atmosphere today as we did yesterday. And we're going to pour as much in tomorrow. And the day after that. 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 And the day after that.
But Adam, without hope, what's left?
Action, Delilah.
What kind of action?
Well, what are you good at? Making art? Writing songs? Create a video essay? Maybe you're the type of person who loves interacting with politicians and CEOs whenever they show their faces in public. Maybe chaining yourself to a gas pump is your thing. Maybe you have serious organizational skills. So organize a rent strike, or attempt to unionize your place of work, or help reinforce your community for when things start to destabilize. We all can do something. We all have to do something, because no one's coming to save us, and we must act now. Jackie?
It finally broke the wave upon the shore. The prophets of fate are banging on the cage door. The screen's an illusion built to trap us in. Divided and conquered, making zombies of us all. Children of the world.
Delilah?
Here I am. What's wrong?
I was worried you were going to disappear on me again.
I'm not going anywhere, silly.
Oh, that's a relief. Were you able to fix the PTSD processor?
Adam?
You don't hear that?
Hear what?
Adam, don't. You're not ready.
Delilah? Is that you? Delilah? Delilah?
Delilah's not here.
Well, where is she? Please? Tell me? What's happening?
Adam, listen to me. You can't lose hope.
I already have.
There will be a moment in the near future when there will be no more ice, and the seas will be swollen and angry, filled with a fraction of the life that humans had always assumed would be there. This is inevitable. What's not inevitable is what you do with the life that you have now. As long as you live with compassion, empathy, and the desire to build a better world for all, the fire that burns inside, calling you to action, is the only hope you will ever need.
I don't want to burn anymore.
Adam?